She has an unshakable and unbreakable faith. She is a mysterious pillar of light who appears in times of great need. She is a shining beacon of hope for the Imperium. She is Celestine, the Living Saint. Oh man, the rate at which JoyToy is dropping those new action figures, I have hardly enough time to keep up with all the goodness. I am definitely not complaining by any means, shape, or form. I love all these action figures that are going to come in. But this is Sprues and Studs, and welcome on in. As the introductory video states, we are going to be taking a look at Celestine the Living Saint and see exactly how well JoyToy translated this epic miniature into model form. So let's get into the review.
Now we shall see what Celestine has to offer. She is definitely going to be saintly. And the big reveal. And just in case if you all were wondering how she's packaged, looks like the wings are in the back here, and then the other ribbons are kind of wrapped in the back on another layer of plastic. Wow! Straight off the bat, the wings are so big and bold and so prominent on this action figure that it literally almost takes the whole entire screen on this video. So anyways, we are going to dive down to the nitty-gritty of Celestine. So we're going to pick her up and take a closer look at this lovely action figure that we have on our hands here. So taking a look at Celestine's head region, we do get to see a very interesting colored hair. Now, I would have to say that the hair is not black. It's almost like a midnight blue, navy kind of color, which is very interesting to me. And then within the strands of hair, you can see that it has also been highlighted. And when you are looking at Celestine's sainted eyes, they are glowing white. And there is a gray tone blue that surrounds the glowing white eyes. Obviously, you have black eyebrows as well as a nicely painted lips. Looking at the pauldrons, no departure from your regular Sisters of Battle. You got the fleur-de-lis on the right side. And then flipping over to the other side, you have a white winged gem that is blue. The gem is undercoated a silver and then overcoated with a translucent blue. Then looking at the middle part of her armor, she has the fleur-de-lis right front and center. And there's a prominent soft plastic hose that runs from the middle of her armor all the way to the back here. And then her armor is of a nice gold color, kind of reminiscent of the Adeptus Custodes action figures that we have reviewed in the past. Then taking a look at the arm area, you have another silver fleur-de-lis. So looking at the middle part of her power armor, you get to see a prominent skull. And then the characteristic silver, red, and black color of the Adeptus Sororitas. And then moving on to the bottom area of this lovely action figure, you get to see this red loincloth that's running down. The loincloth is lightly shaded in these areas. Flip this over. The back of the loincloth is white with some red speckles, which is probably some painting defect here. And the red flowing kind of skirt area mimics the loincloth, where it is red shaded in the recesses, as well as your characteristic light ivory color right here. And you have two prominent silver fleur-de-lis here on the upper thigh. There's another small black one right here. And then on the shin area is something a little bit different from her sisters. You have white wing skulls that are shaded black. And then it rounds out to this interesting looking, I suppose, silver spiked area. So this is the main body of Celestine. Really no departure from her sisters, aside from the fact that she has glowing eyes. So we're going to put this down and take a look at the Ardent Blade. The Ardent Blade, again, is something that we have seen before on the rest of the Battle Sisters, except that this is a little bit more prominent. And by prominent, I mean larger and longer. Just like with the rest of the Power Swords, you have this color gradient where it is a dark silver, and then it slightly transitions to a lighter silver. You got the prominent blue glow of the power nodes here, a shaded gold wing skull, and a fleur-de-lis end
The thing that makes this thing jump out compared to the rest of any of the power swords is this, I guess, lovely bouquet of roses. So you can see that JoyToy has done a good job of sculpting the roses. I mean, well, they look like roses. And then the roses have been shaded a nice pink color in the recesses to give the contrast to the stark white that is going on. Putting the sword down, we're going to take a look at the plastic doves here. And this is the sound when doves cry. Sorry, had to put that in. So the doves are of a soft plastic material. They are obviously linked together, and there are 5 of them. What I like about these doves is that their wings actually mimic the larger wings of Celestine here in the back. So the body of these doves are clearly a white color that has been very lightly shaded. And then you can see it's transitioning to this blue color here. So we're going to put this part down, and then we are going to take a look at this very, very massive ribbon or purity seal ribbon, whatever you want to call it. So here you get some iconography that is printed at the ends right here and right here. And then there's a ton of calligraphy that runs down from the top of these ribbons all the way down to the bottom, and that's the case for both sides. And then finally, we are going to be taking a look at what is probably the most prominent thing on this action figure, which is Celestine's wings. This is likely one of the largest pieces of action figure plastic that I own. So let's just take a look at the painting on the wings. Clearly the top of the wings are a nice gold, and then the wings base color is white, which transitions to a kind of a bluish gray with prominent shading in between the feathers here. Then in the middle of this is a very large iron halo. There does not appear to be too much shading that's going on here. And I'll have to admit, this area looks kind of precarious because it is just attached to the backpack by this single wire here. And now finally to the interesting part of Celestine, which is just arming her to begin with. So the first thing that we are going to do is to actually give her backpack. So there are 2 holes here, and then there are 2 pegs in the backpack. Put her together like that. And as I said before, I like it how the halo back here sits directly behind her head. The doves are an interesting thing where you would have to remove the left hand like that. And then there's a hole right here in which you would place the doves, like so, and then you would cap off this part again with the hand. Next thing that we're going to do is open up her right hand so that she can wield her Ardent Blade. And then the long ribbon is attached by a hole in the cape area. It's got a nice peg here. You can just... So this is kind of finicky to get in. And then with this action figure, you get a large base to help with the posing. And there's just a slot that you would put this part in. At the top of this is kind of like a claw mechanism that you can open up. And this area is going to go around Celestine's body, so you can actually stand her up. Now that we have put Celestine under the microscope, it is time to conclude this video. Would you look at this elegant sculpture right here? You could barely tell it is an action figure. Well, I think that JoyToy did a fantastic job with this one. There are barely any criticisms that I have on this action figure. It is elegant, it is poignant, and it is completely badass. There are a lot of things that I like about Celestine. The first thing that I'm going to comment on is obviously the face region. I really like those really glowing eyes that makes this action figure really come alive. And there's also other things such as the Ardent sword, as well as the doves that she is holding or whatever, that really makes this action figure look like it's airy and flying. I suppose one small criticism I'm going to have to say, and this is obviously just because of the miniature. The miniature actually looks awesome because it doesn't have this base or display next to it, because they use these purity seal ribbons as a form of support to actually give it a structure. Now, because of this form, there's really no way of doing it, but if JoyToy actually figured out how to do it that way, that would be an immaculate action figure, but it's still a very, very good action figure here. So one other slight criticism is that when you are trying to put this action figure on this little hook or whatever you want to call it, the clear plastic part rubs up against the backpack, so it kind of makes the action figure wobble a little bit. But aside from that, this is a fantastic action figure that I would recommend any Sister of Battle or any kind of special character collector to get. There's really no reason why not to get this. So this is Screws and Studs. Thanks for tuning into this review video. If these in-depth review videos are your jam, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as it helps the channel very, very much to grow. Once again, I thank you for the support that you've been giving me in these past couple of weeks, months, years, whatever it is. Without your support and help, I definitely would not be here. So thank you very much, brothers and sisters of this chapter. And as usual, I will see you all in the next one.